Hey guys, welcome to my Ex Appeal Your Everything Divorce podcast. My name is Joie Camaro and I'm here with
Mandy Baker.
and we are the friends that you just didn't know you needed.
And now you can't get rid of us.
Nope. Welcome back. Here we are.
We're here. Still going through Unhinged.
Yes, our
I'm loving
Unhinged
these.
series. Yeah, me too. So today's Unhinged episode, Mandy, is
Okay.
more of a how does this statement make you feel?
I'm a little nervous about this because you said you had all the feels. So I'm a little, okay, I haven't heard this yet.
Joey and Mandy, everything divorce related. We can put the S back in your ex appeal. Joey and Mandy, the friends you didn't know you needed on my ex appeal. And everything divorce podcast.
So I was on the interweb, if you will,
Okay.
on Instagram. I was watching reels, and there's a woman, and I don't know her name, to be honest with you, but she's some sort of a doctor, right?
Okay.
And she was saying, she gave a stat that I thought was interesting because I think we've talked about this before. Her stat was that 70% of divorces over the age of 40 are initiated by the female.
Okay.
So now that's a stat that I don't know if that's a true stat, but however, we've noticed in the mediation business that it's usually the female that reaches out to us first, that initiate it. And the people who come to us for divorces are usually 40 to 60, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. So I'm intrigued by this because I'm like, okay, good stat. Now she said the reason why is because the reason why women over 40 are initiating divorce is because our hormones are out of whack and that we are at the point where we don't know what's what. And then we stop blaming everybody else for everything that's going on in our lives. So we blame our spouse and we blame our teenage children. And that's why we initiate divorce, because our hormones are out of whack.
I'm going to call bogus on that because every person over 40 is part of Gen X and we are tough as shit and we know what the hell's going on. We drank out of hoses, for crying out loud, when we were locked out of the house when we were kids. No, I'm not going to agree with that.
Yeah.
That gives me all the weird, I did this because no. I think that's wrong.
Yeah. Right? Doesn't it make you feel like, what?
It takes me back to the Cosby Show. If you remember, there was an episode where Claire was going through menopause and her kids were treating her really weird. So she decided to have some fun with it. And she went like totally wacko in the kitchen. Like she was looking at ketchup and she was like, I like the red sauce. And they were all like, Mom, that's ketchup. And she was like, I don't, it's what? And they were like, it's red sauce. Or she like stuck her head in the freezer because she was hot and they couldn't get her ice fat. Anyway, it's funny. But that's what that reminds me of, is just, it looks like that person was fishing for an excuse, but I don't think that that's right. I think that over 40 women feel empowered and they want control over their life. And they feel strong enough to know that they, no matter what it looks like on the other side, they can do it on their own and create a life that they want.
Yeah.
I feel like they feel trapped. I feel like they woke up one day and was like, this is not what I envisioned my life to look like.
And you're on the, you're not over the hill, but you're going up the hill and you see the other side and you say, I only have it. When you're 40 and over, you start to realize when you're in your 20s and maybe early 30s, you think you're going to live forever.
Right.
And then when you get to be 40 and over, you start to think, oh, I'm not going to live forever. So do I want to live like this? Or do I want to change some things? And to say that my hormones are out of whack. I do have hot flashes. When I'm having a hot flash, I can't think straight.
Sure, but then you're not going to decide to get divorced over a hot flash.
Right. I might get bangs.
Right.
Which is usually a bad idea.
Or another ear piercing or something, but
right. But I'm not going to make major life decisions. And then that means we shouldn't work.
Well, agree. That means that there would be a whole lot more females out of work if that was the case, because if we can't make a decision in our own home, why would anyone trust us to make decisions when you're paying us?
So you're saying an ER doctor that's going through hormonal changes shouldn't be an ER doctor anymore because they have to make a change? Like, and then that to me it was, she's a female.
That's the crazy part.
And it seemed like she was almost, it's like gaslighting in a sense to say like, no, you're the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And not knowing everyone's situation. So you're saying that all of us that wanted a new life are whack jobs.
It's insane.
That's insane.
And you know what? Like, so your husband just can't be a fucking dick and you're sick of it? Is that what you're saying? So like, you just got to deal with it because my hormones are changing, or your kids kids can be dicks.
Oh, kids totally. Yeah.
Like teenagers can be total dickheads. And I'm not going to blame me because the kids are hormonal too. How about that?
Agreed. It all looks like a scribbly colored. It's nothing. Nobody's coloring within the lines when kids are teenagers and mom's over 40. Like everything's nuts, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go crazy. That's weird. I don't like that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I think that if you're listening and you're making this decision and you're over 40, you make your decision based off of your gut feeling.
Absolutely.
If anything, a female has good intuition.
Yes, absolutely. We have that quiet voice in the head and the heart, and especially the belly, that will tell you when something doesn't feel right.
Right. So make that decision. Don't listen to bozos
like tell this. You it's your hormones.
Yeah. I felt a certain way. She did get ripped to shreds in the comments, though.
I'm sure. As well, they were all hormonal.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm rolling my eyes out loud for those listening. Like, I'm literally rolling my eyes out loud because that's a whack statement.
Yeah, it's straight up crazy. So
yeah,
I would love to hear from our listeners what they think about this and if they feel like it was a hormonal shift that led them to a divorce.
I blame the eclipse.
What it is. I think it's females are action oriented a lot. And I think females get to a certain point where they might say to the spouse, hey, this isn't cool for me. Like, we have to change this. Okay. Hey, can we change this? Hey, can we change this? And they just get to a threshold and then they make the decision. And from experience, getting the phone call from the female, which has happened quite a bit. It's always the female. It is always the same thing. I don't necessarily want this, but I've tried to ask him to change and he won't. However, he's fine with keeping things the way that it is because he's comfortable in his life.
Well, because everything's taken care of.
Yeah. And I'm not. So that's from experience. That's not a statistic. That's just what I've experienced on the other side of the phone. So I think that we're action oriented and goal oriented, and we just say, hey, I've had enough. What can I do to move on? Even though it's going to be scary, I'm ready to do it. So hormonal, maybe, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe your hormones actually put you in whack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
that did make me feel a certain way.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments of our YouTube. Head over to our YouTube, My Ex Appeal, and comment under this video and let us know what you think about that. And hey, maybe there's people out there that agree that it's hormonal. I don't know. I'd like to hear about it.
That's true.
Yeah. I want to know what your take is on that. Yeah. So let us know in the comments and we will see you next time on My Ex Appeal.
Thanks to our listeners, sponsors, and our lawyers on My Ex Appeal and everything divorce